Can you give us a little backstory on this whole Jezebel thing, and then we're gonna let Pastor Keisha jump in.
Jezebel, the name means unmarried and chaste, but her character in the Bible was completely the opposite of this meaning.
Sure.
She was the daughter of Ethbaal, Ahab's wife. She followed idolatry versus God.
Okay.
However, being the queen, she still had her position and status in the nation of Israel.
Sure.
She was also known for destroying Yahweh's prophets. And you can find that in 1 Kings 18, verses 4 through 13.
Sure.
She plotted to assassinate Elijah. Now, you know she was rough and she wanted to kill that crazy prophet.
Yeah, she was.
She also made sure that Naboth was killed. But she was dealt with herself. And she is referred to in a way of paganism in the church in Revelations 2:20. She was the queen during the reign of Ahab. And Ahab was a very passive and considered evil king because he did not have the courage or the strength or backbone to stand up, one, to her, or as well as stand up against the unpopular decisions of God. As a result, she was able to influence or infuse her pagan ideologies within the laws and the political arena of the nation of Israel at that time. She was a trip.
She was a trip. All right. Yeah. Pastor Keisha, can you continue with that? Or what you have noticed now he gave the backstory. Now can you give us maybe some examples of what you have noticed in ministry with that spirit?
Male versus female. It could hold any seat, if you will.
I'm glad you said that. You are so right.
The spirit, the characteristics.
Sure. Her mic is
it's not just
okay.
for women or female pastors.
So you said we have some male Jezebels?
Yes.
Male Jezebel.
Yes.
Oh, that's a new name.
Yes.
Male Jezebel. Oh, look out now.
Cause women ain't the only one that
that's
that
idolatrous.
Controls.
Yep.
Because the devil don't just use a woman.
Well, he's not gender biased.
And no, he's not whatsoever. Continue, Pastor.
And that's the point that I wanted to really cover.
Yeah.
It's not just geared toward women. We get a lot of backlash. We get a lot of negativity because of our roles in ministry. That forceful or dominant spirit, that sometimes is depicted as Jezebel or manipulative or controlling and all of that. The Bible and Proverbs say the righteous are bold as lions. So there are certain depictions that definitely does not, speak to the characteristics of all women in ministry.
Well, yeah.
So
Elder Elaine Gardner chimed in. She says that's a very broad statement. She's mentioning my Facebook topic title. It says women pastors are all Jezebels, and I just stopped there. Okay, I do that because I want people to come over to read what else I'm gonna say.
Right.
All right. So she says that's a very broad statement.
Appeal to that nosy woman.
Oh yeah, all women pastors are not Jezebels. Some women pastors are submissive to their husbands and recognize them for who they are and what they represent. Deborah became a judge at the time women were rarely leaders, and because they did not step up to the plate, she took on the responsibility of being a leader because the men of Israel faltered as leaders. Jezebel was a mean-spirited woman. She was controlling and intimidated men. Now, if that's the way some of the women pastors act, then yes, they have the spirit of Jezebel. She says, I'm just saying. All right, she basically kind of said what you said there. Yeah. So what we're going to do here with the 10 minutes we have before the hour, I'm going to allow Pastor Peters to just enlighten us on what she have on this particular this topic. Okay? All right.
Can I say amen? Okay, amen. Yes.
First of all, I think if we're going to, Apostle Paul would say, he said, we know the spirit of truth and we know the spirit of error. And I think there has been so much erroneous spirits out there when trying to make some decisions and some judgment calls about who's Jezebel and who's not a Jezebel, pretty much who's Jezebel. First of all, I want to say, if you're going to detect the spirit of Jezebel, you need some discernment, first of all.
Amen.
It is spiritually discerned, and it is not depicted by position.
Sure.
Second of all, I want to say, if you're going to detect Jezebel, if you want to look for Jezebel, try looking out of the pulpit.
So Jezebel's in the pew.
Jezebel is often in the pews and behind the scenes. One of the characteristics of Jezebel is that she can manipulate from behind the scenes, and she can pull the strings, and she can use someone else to do
like
what she
Rachel,
wants to do.
Rebecca.
So I think we need to stop looking for Jezebel in the pulpit.
I love that.
Stop looking for Jezebel within the pastor that happens to have a woman's name.
Man, that's great.
Wow.
Good.
A pastor that happens to have a woman's name.
Yeah.
That's good.
A pastor that just happens to have a woman's name. If you look for Jezebel in the pastor with the woman's name, 9 times out of 10, you will not find her. So I think you need to stop looking, or people need to stop looking for Jezebel in a particular position.
Absolutely.
Most of the
So
time,
would you say a lot of first ladies are Jezebel?
I wouldn't say a lot of first ladies are Jezebel. Some first ladies are Jezebels. I think that a good place to look for Jezebels is in the home, not just of a preacher, but a wife maybe in general, at home.
Wow.
One that has perhaps what we used to call a hen-pecked husband.
Sure.
So you might just want to look, you can look at any wife. It doesn't have to be, and again, as Pastor Smith said,
Jezebel DNA is in the strand.
yeah, it doesn't have to be even a particular, stop looking at it being gender-based simply because we take the name of that spirit from a woman, a biblical woman, that it is named after.
And couldn't that be like a demonic deploy? You know how we look at you, Peters, but it's the people behind us who we should be looking at, and that could be some way. Because
It could be the pastor's mother.
Yeah.
Yep.
It could be the pastor's father.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Do you understand? It's somebody. There's a in the New Testament. There is a particular woman who I would say had the spirit of Jezebel, and that was King Herod's wife.
I agree.
Oh my
Yes.
God, yes.
Yes.
She manipulated
Yes.
her daughter. She used her daughter
And her husband.
to seduce
Yeah.
the king to get what she wanted, and that was the head of John the Baptist.
Yeah.
Potiphar's
So
wife.
this woman was very much behind the scene using a child. And a person that has that spirit in them will use a child. They'll use anybody. Because what Jezebel really wants, she wants to manipulate and control the person in authority.
Yeah.
She wants to manipulate and control. And if
Say it again.
Yeah, because
she wants to
manipulate.
manipulate and control
The
the
person.
person,
The person
in
in authority.
authority.
she technically never has authority.
Exactly.
Okay.
She wants to manipulate and control the person in authority. So when we think about Jezebel, Jezebel wants to alter the plan of God as it relates to what he says is authority. So that spirit will manipulate and control, almost make someone like a puppet.
Yes.
And if you
Apostle.
think, yes.
Do you think she wants to be, or he want to be on front line? It's a person that's on the front of the things.
I don't think that they necessarily want to be on the front line, but they want to control who is on the front line.
Yes. Oh, they'll be trying to get to the front.
Noticed
I want-
but not known.
Yeah. I mean, think about Jezebel. She wrote letters to the man about, taking his field and all of that. But she wrote them in her husband's name.
Yes.
Why didn't she just write it in her own name?
Because it would not have had any authority or power.
Yeah,
It
that's
would have just
good.
been empty words.
I love it. Girl, you better keep talking. This is good stuff. I can't write fast enough.
So when we think about a
Making me
person,
behave.
that has a Jezebel spirit,
You make it Al behave.
this person usurps authority.
Yes.
They usurp authority. They will make a person in authority exhausted. Now, think about who Jezebel had around her.
Yes.
She had a bunch of eunuchs.
Right.
What is that? Castrated men.
Men with no balls. That's a shame. A ballless boy.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
So this is what she did. She had a bunch of castrated men.
Yes.
Now,
They
if
were
we look at that
depressed.
from a, just look at it from another, she had stripped them.
Yeah.
They were Mitches.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is true.
She had stripped them, and so she'll build up to tear down. This person with spirit of Jezebel can be very seductive,
Yes.
and you'll think it might be about sex, but it really ain't
not.
about sex.
Yes.
It's about control.
Yes.
So we
Yes.
can say it like this, and that's why I say you got to stop looking in the pulpit for the Jezebels. A lot of baby mamas have manipulating and controlling spirits because I want to control the man, and I'll use the child.
That's right.
So you got to look beyond the pulpit
Yes.
and the fact that the person has a title that says that they are a pastor and they happen to be of the feminine persuasion.
Absolutely. Wow. Wow.
Because you're going to miss Jezebel all day long.
That's true.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
right.
it's a unis it's a double unisex.
unisex.
like some of the bathrooms. Wow. Unisex.
Oh, that goes back to the last night's conversation.
Amen. Continue.
So,
Jezebel.
so someone with that spirit. Now, I think this is where people probably try to get and make it be that because we're a woman pastor and we have some level of authority, that we have this preeminence about ourselves or something, and so therefore we can get called that. But the person with the spirit of Jezebel is not God-willed; they're self-willed. They're self-willed. It's all about what they want. It's all about what they want to see happen. And here's the thing: what makes Jezebel very good at operating, if that spirit can detect weakness
Yes.
in your authority,
Yes.
They look for the crack.
Yes.
then you become a prime candidate
That's it. That's
for
good stuff.
that spirit.
That's true.
For that spirit. And I think Pastor mentioned about Jezebel's name, but I want to give you another name for that Jezebel means. It means without cohabitation. So Jezebel is not, look for someone.
She's a lonely person.
Yeah, that doesn't work well with someone else. Always got to be, per se, in charge in a sense.
Or in control.
In control.
They don't want to be in charge.
In
because
control.
In
I'm
charge
sorry.
means responsible.
In control. In control. I've met more Jezebels in the pews than Jezebels in leadership.
Wow.
I can
More
agree to that.
Jezebels
I can
at
agree.
home
Yes.
Yes.
telling the man what to do than the Jezebel in the leadership role.
Boy.
So I think we have a spirit of error operating,
Yeah.
and we're not really detecting this spirit because we're looking for it in the wrong place.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we're using just femininity and femininity in leadership and femininity in places of, prestige and power to say, oh, that's a Jezebel spirit.
Listen, if you just tuned in, we are floored by the teaching on this topic, and I tell you, I knew who to call in here, Alvin.
I see.
I knew what I was doing.
Surprise.
Shoot, I
You done
did
got
my
me twice
homework.
this week, but-
Did my homework.
Well, I know her husband. I know of her husband.
Yeah.
I met him a couple of times.
Well, I
she
tell
got
you.
to be strong, but not. Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you,
Wise.
all that. We're talking about the Jezebel spirit, and we're getting deep down into it. We're going to continue at this next hour. We'll come back with the controversial corner at the bottom of the hour. And I'm with that laugh, I can tell it's going to be good.
I'm changing it.
Yeah, Peter's got us all changing. Change your diaper, man. Change your diaper. Okay, we're gonna take a little pay a bill,
Hey, that's him.
and we'll come back. This is You Being Praised, the Sir Walter Jones Show.